How to have a clear vision, part two. So I want to reflect that a lot of people have a career where they're employed. And if you're somebody who has a career who's employed or you're retired, you're not an entrepreneur, this video is for you. Um, I want to invite to replace the word vision with dream or purpose, and we can use those interchangeably. So if you feel like reactivity to like, hey, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a business owner, or I'm retired, I don't need a vision or blah, 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 just use purpose or dream. But there's something that we're skillfully moving towards. And in many traditions, we talk about a right livelihood. We are creatures of why. We're creatures of meaning. One phrase in Chinese I hated the most, and by the way, I love the Chinese people. I'm not going to do Donald Trump hands. China's great, China, but uh, like the Chinese people, married to a Chinese person. But there's one phrase in Chinese I didn't like a lot. It's called "没有为什么,我没有为什么," and that means I have no why. There's no why. And in the Western world, there's always a reason. There's always a why. What's your why is super, super critical to figure out. Why get out of bed? It's warm in bed. It's the winter time right now. You could just stay in bed. What's the purpose of getting out of bed? What's the point of what I'm doing with my life? And there are a couple of check boxes that can work on that could be skillful to figure out what that is. One is your purpose, often if it's selfless, you're heading in the right direction. Even if you're just a meditator and you want to really discover profound meditative truth to reality, that's a wonderful purpose to realize that the self is actually a construction. And once you have that realization and you stabilize that realization, what typically follows are acts of selflessness, not acts of selfishness. So if you're into meditation and that's your thing, great. Two is that to have any kind of purpose or desire or wanting or vision or dream to improve the fabric of society, whether that be through volunteering, through mentoring, through being a part of a charitable organization, whether that be through working on your passion project on the weekends or 1 hour a day. Those are super, super important. Now, I want to kind of reverse this really fast, and I want to make this a very short video, so we're going to wrap it up in about 2 minutes. Is let's talk about uh, countercultural societal norms. Here's one that you might know: retirement. These days, the millennial generation looks at retirement very differently. Um, and other generations, younger generations, look at it very differently. But let's just look at the traditional notion of retirement. At 65 years old, I'm going to stop working. So if you know anybody who just stopped working at 65 years old and just started doing X, usually about 6 to 12 months into X, there's something that arises, which could be categorized as discontentment or not fulfilled. And or cognitive decline goes down and maybe other things go up, like ignorance is bliss type of thing. I don't know. I'm not 65. I've never been 65, and hopefully I will become 65, but we'll see. Now, I personally believe that retirement is a bunch of bullshit. I think a human with no purpose is just like dust in the wind. And I don't think that it's skillful to work your whole life and then just say, you're not going to work anymore. Because deep inside, humans have a need for purpose and meaning. And even if that purpose is, hey, I'm going to be the best parent in the world, what a great purpose. Imagine if all the parents of all of humans did that, there'd probably be no more wars. So even if your purpose is, I'm going to be a great dad, great mom, I'm going to be a great uh, social entrepreneur, whatever it is, very important. So vision, purpose, dream, very complementary. And this video is just food for thought. If you don't have a clear purpose or something that brings you deep meaning that you do, maybe it's time to pause, reflect, get quiet, write about it. Last thing I'll share, it took me about 30 years to find my purpose. 30 years. So it's not easy. One thing I did that I'm proud of as a younger version of myself was I said, and I don't know how I said it, I don't know where I read it, but I said, when I was in my 20s, I said, my purpose is finding my purpose. So if somebody's watching this out there and doesn't have a total true purpose, make your passion finding your passion, make your purpose finding your purpose. And I promise you, if you're very persistent, miracles will occur. You'll see it. So, hope is helpful.